Hi everyone and welcome back to LL Sports TV. Hope you're doing well. I'm your host Laurie and today I'm joined by Kenya in the building. And
we're back.
We've not done a show now for a while.
Yeah,
so
man.
it's only
good reunion.
It's good. It's a good reunion.
Yeah.
We've had better games to talk about. But let's get into it, man. Arsenal went up to Sunderland today, a game that we was expected to win. I thought we would win. It was the Granit Xhaka derby. And you know what, Kenya, I had premonitions that he was going to score. I thought we were going to win this game 3-1 with Saka getting a goal, and he was going to cost us our clean sheet record. But he didn't score, but we did lose the clean sheet record.
Turned out to be another ex-Arsenal player, Dan Ballard.
Yeah, Mr. Dan Ballard. Is that his name?
Yeah.
Dan Ballard?
He was part of our academy for about a good 15 years.
Yeah, man. Yeah. And I got to say, I think he deserved this man of the match.
Oh, although he got a goal and assist.
He did. Yeah. Do you think he was fortunate to stay on the pitch, though? Because there was that incident in the first half.
What with the elbow? To be honest, I didn't really think it was a penalty. I think it was just a very unfortunate kind of clash of heads type of thing.
But as we were saying, though, do you not think that if that would have been anywhere else on the pitch, the referee probably gives a foul? So why is it not a penalty?
Yeah, that's
some
probably
people are
true.
saying he could have gone.
That's probably true. I don't know. I wouldn't have sent him off just because of it's not like he actually went. Do you know what I mean? He jumps up for the ball, he wins the ball, and his arm is just kind of there. It's just an unfortunate thing.
You're giving him the benefit.
Yeah, I'm gonna give him the benefit.
I must admit, at the time, man, I was calling for him to get sent off.
Surprise.
And I thought, at the very least, if not a sending off, then a penalty. Because I you know what I thought? I'm going to be honest, right? No, I don't know Dan Ballard, obviously, and I'm sure he probably didn't mean it.
Yeah.
But to me, it looked like one of them where he was going to leave something on the play. You know, one of them.
Oh yeah, okay, fair enough.
Early in the game,
some of them, yeah.
You know what I mean? He's a big, strong centre-half. He's thinking, let me leave something on Marino just to let him know.
Yeah. Let him know I'm here, man. You know what I mean?
You know what I mean? But yeah, I thought Sunderland in the first half, they did quite well. We had a couple of chances that we never took. And I remember thinking at the time, nah, man, you got to take these chances because if you don't, you know what's going to happen. And then we switch off. Declan Rice, I don't know what he's doing there. I'm a big fan of Declan, man, but don't know what he's doing there. Ballard gets in front of him and scores a pretty good goal, and the consecutive clean sheet record is gone. And I'm thinking, oh man,
yeah, man.
And the first half, we weren't really on it. I think we had a couple of chances to score, but we weren't really on it. But the second half, though, I thought was much better.
Yeah. I mean, I think Mikel Arteta obviously went in at half time and was like, "What the hell are you lot doing?" Yeah. And obviously tore them a new one, and they came out and definitely played much better. And it kind of was a bit reminiscent of when we played Newcastle, funny enough, where we started, I guess in the Newcastle game, we actually started the first half well, but we went a goal down, then we went into half time. We came out in the second half straight away. We came with, energy and purpose, and you could tell that we wanted to win that game, which compared to last season, I don't remember seeing that at all last season, if I'm being honest. So I saw that, I was like, right, I have full faith that we're going to go on, get the 3 points, but then just in the end, just one small moment, switch off, it cost us 3 points where we should have just seen it out, we should have been professional.
We'll just talk about the two goals for a minute. Saka, who some people were, we did the watch along on AFTV, some people were getting into him a little bit, man. They were saying, "Oh, come on, man, step your game up." You know what I mean? He didn't have the best the first half, but Saka being that guy, that's what he does.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Sometimes he's not playing that great, but he has the quality.
He leaves with Saka's a guy where he could literally be out of the game for 50 minutes, but then in the 51st he turns up. And that's what makes him such a good player. Because even in games where you think, right, he's playing a bit average, he leaves with a goal or he leaves with an assist, or he's literally skilling up players. And I think, in the first half I was like, yo man, I want to see you get around players more. But we also need to remember, with no Victor Gyökeres, which again, someone that I think we massively missed, with no Victor Gyökeres now, loads of players are going to go over to Saka. You're going to have 2-3 man back on Saka because they know how dangerous he is. You can't let him go for 1 second. And he had that second, he scored. I even think, to be honest, he should have scored that other chance that he had earlier.
Yeah, he should have.
But he learnt from his mistakes, and I'm burying this one. And I was happy for him.
I was happy for him.
It was good.
Goal.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
once we got the equaliser, actually even before then, we were the better team.
Yeah, I agree.
We got the equaliser, and from then on, it was pretty much all Arsenal for quite a large spell of that game. And then Trossard rocks up, again, gets that second goal.
Another player that I think a lot of people hate on, but this is a guy that pops up in big moments. Like this season so far, he's having a really good season so far. Like he played well against Burnley, he wins us the Fulham game. Like I'm looking at him like, wow, I understand why the club tried to keep you in the summer when you could have left. To be honest, he's played really well. Today he turns up. We know Trossard's not the fastest guy, but one thing I like about him, he's like, right, cool, I'm not going to beat you for pace, but I'll beat you in technicality. I'll beat you in skill. And he did that against Kyle Walker, which we know is a very fast defender. Skilled him up. We saw it again this week where he's, dropping the shot with putting loads of crosses in. I'm happy, and I liked his performance personally, and I know a lot of people get onto him, but this is why he's playing.
So then we go 2-1 up, and we're thinking, yeah, man, pretty much game done. But I did notice that some of the Arsenal players were flagging a bit. Even Declan Rice, who's one of the most athletically gifted and most cardio-enhanced players at the club, if that's a term. You could see he was flagging. Eze was flagging. He did come off, actually. But there was a few players that looked a bit tired. Now, if I do have a criticism of the manager today, is that I do think, and I said it on the stream, so I'm not being wise after the event, I said it on the watch along, I felt he should have freshened things up a bit and brought in some players and just see out the game. But he didn't. He made just one sub today, which was, I've got to say, surprising when you're considering that we've played a lot of games recently. Yeah. That was Mosquera coming on for Eze. He was absolutely knackered. Even when Eze was walking off, he could barely walk. He looked really tired. Like he'd just done the London Marathon.
He looked knackered.
So he come off. Mosquera come on, and I'm thinking going to be a few more subs.
Yeah, where's everyone else?
Then the referee decides he's going to play 7 minutes, which is a little bit long, I thought.
Second half, I didn't really get.
I don't know where he got
the first half. That 9 minutes made sense because there was a lot of stoppages. 2 players down for a long time. We had head injuries. The second half, I don't really know where the 7 minutes came from, but hey ho, 7 minutes.
We should still have wrote it out, but we didn't. That second goal that Sunderland scored, Kenya, I mean, not only did it come against the run of play, but it was a bit of a comedy of errors there.
Yeah, right? Man. Yeah.
Raya and Gabriel. I mean, Gabriel loses the duel.
Yeah.
But then, even then, though, Gabriel can't win every single duel, every single game. Raya comes off his line, and I don't know what he's doing there. Because if you look at it again, Kenny, you can see that he's not even looking at the ball. He just rushes out.
Yeah. I understand why he comes out. Maybe it's obviously it didn't end up being the right decision, but I also feel like if he sticks on his line, you also give Brian Brobry a lot of chances basically to score. Do you know what I mean? He can then be like, right, because you've sticked on your line, put in the bottom corner, put in the top corner, like at least he's tried to close the gap. Obviously it doesn't work because Gabriel's literally halfway on the floor by not winning his duel. That's where I really have the issue, is that you're not going to win every duel, but it's just the way that he went in for the duel was so stupid. He doesn't win it, and then basically it just ruins David Raya maybe going it, trying to close it.
Oh, so you think it's more Gabriel at fault rather than Raya?
I think it's both of them, to be honest.
Yeah, I think it is. But I think if anything, I think Raya's more at fault.
I understand why David Raya comes off his line, because I feel like if you stand on your line, then Brian Brobry, who's already beaten Gabriel, has the benefit of to shoot anywhere in your goal. Whereas if you try and close a man down, you've closed the space that he's potentially going to shoot into. So I actually do kind of get it. But again, just the lack of communication. I think that just summed up our defence today. Yeah, a defence that we know already is the best in Europe today was just not at it. Was very disjointed, no real communication. And it ends up costing us 3 points, man.
But here's the thing. The game ended 2-2. Was it... Well, we know it's points dropped.
It's points dropped to me.
Was it disappointing or was it disaster? Because to listen to some Arsenal fans, both in the watch along and online, the way some men are having meltdowns over this, it's almost like Liverpool City have caught us up because of that we lost. We didn't lose the game.
Yeah, no, look, don't get me, it's not a disaster. I think anyone losing their mind over this, like, you're crazy.
There's a few people losing it, man.
We're talking about a Sunderland team that they've got the most points of any promoted side in the league right now. They've matched Hull City. I think they were saying before when Hull City came up in like 2008 or something for like the most points won for a promoted side. They're playing really well. They beat Chelsea. Do you know what I mean? Like we can't. They've played.
And they've come from behind in a couple of games.
Yeah, they've come from Everton,
Chelsea, and
they're a team that have dug in and won points, won games like that. You have to give them the respect, but
They're
it's not.
unbeaten at home.
Yeah, it's not a disaster. It's disappointing, of course, but it's not a disaster. At the end of the day, I see it as of right now, we're 7 points clear, and Man City and Liverpool have to play each other tomorrow.
So one of them is going to drop.
So
points,
one of them is going to drop points, or both of them. So I just see it as well the way we're playing, the way that we've played consistently in this campaign so far. We've shown that we don't concede a lot of goals. This right now, I'm looking at this performance like it's a bit of a fluke, because in the last however games, we've not even conceded a goal. So as long as in our next game, which after international break is a hard game against Spurs, we go into that and we win, I'm not going to sit here and lose hair over drawing to Sunderland. Of course I'm disappointed, but it could be much worse. I'm so
glad you said that, because I thought maybe I was being a little bit
I think
casual or something, because the way some of these guys have been going on, and I've seen some of the comments online.
Yeah, it's overreacting.
Digging out the players, digging out the manager. Yes, it was a disappointing day. First of all, we dropped points. We should really be beating Sunderland if we are that team that we think we are, or we've been saying we are. We should really be beating them. Especially when you're 2-1 up with literally a few minutes left. You should hold on. That being said, we know how football is. We know the vagaries of the Premier League. These things do happen. It's not a loss.
Yeah, exactly.
We can learn from this and bounce back. But to hear some of the fans, they're saying it's disaster. Oh, no. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think some of the fans are suffering from that PTSD of a few years ago when we did implode. Some people are saying, this shows that, maybe the mentality is not as strong as we thought it was. I think that's a bit of a stretch.
I don't know if you remember last season when Liverpool drew to Newcastle, and it was like, but then they just went on and won the next game, and it actually in the end it didn't mean anything because they won the league. So yes, it's a disappointing result in the terms of that we fought really hard to get it back to a winning stage. We ended up drawing, but we could have lost. Do you know what I mean? And I think the way Sunderland played, I think actually a draw is very fair.
Yeah, to be honest, I do think in the final analysis, I do think we edged it.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at the stats, we had something like 15 shots on goal to their 8.
Yeah.
But overall, you kind of can't really be too begrudging of Sunderland for the draw, because one thing that did impress me about them is that even the subs they made, they were all physical. Positive subs. They were trying to win. Yeah. They had a game plan. I mean, I've heard some Arsenal fans talking about the physicality of Sunderland and saying that, but come on now, what did you expect Sunderland to do?
Yeah, look,
Sunderland are not going to try and play expansive football and play Arsenal off the pitch. It was obvious what they were going to do.
People need to realise is that we're top of the Premier League. I think if you look at all of our results so far, some of the teams that have come to us and tried to be expansive, they got destroyed. Atletico Madrid came and tried to be expansive. They got absolutely destroyed. Leeds, again, tried to be a bit expansive, got absolutely destroyed. You cannot come to Arsenal and be expansive because they will tear you apart. You have to be physical. You have to play a low or mid block to try and get something. And you know what? Look at Man City. Man City is one of the best teams around. And we saw Pep Guardiola park it up. They scored in the first 15 minutes. They parked it up to minute 90. That's one of the best teams around. So I don't know why people are upset or crying that Sunderland would deploy the same tactics. We know what the story is. We've had this for the last 3 seasons. It's now our job to say, how are we going to stop that mid block? How are we going to stop teams from going to a low block? How are we going to be better? And you know what? Big up to Trossard, because he actually found a way to do that. The defence in it and ended up letting him down in how well he did.
The defence, which has been such a stalwart for Arsenal,
it's hard.
Unfortunately, today they're a bit below standards, the normal high standards, and it cost us. But that being said, the game was a draw. To listen to some of the fans, you'd think we'd got beat 4-0.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So it was what I would call a disappointing day rather than a disastrous day.
Yeah.
And I'm glad, Kenya, that you agree with me on that, because like I said, I'm looking at some of the comments online. I saw you said some of the comments when we did the watch along.
Yeah.
And speaking to some of the people, Christian, Ty, Ella, 1 or 2 others, they're carrying on like we lost.
Yeah.
But hey.
Yeah, I don't know if, quickly before we finish, I don't remember if you guys remember when we played Bournemouth. It kind of reminded me a bit of that last season, and we ended up losing them games. Do you know what I mean? We lost home and away to Bournemouth, whereas this time, yeah, we kind of played a similar game. We should have won, but at least we got a draw. A point is still, in this instance, considering
top of the table.
Considering we came from a losing position, we've come out with something. It's not what we wanted, but it came out with something. Let's just move on to the next game and win it.
We live to fight another day.
Yeah.
But Kenya, thank you so much for your erudite and analytical opinions as always. And thank you guys for watching LL Sports TV. Really appreciate it. Make sure you tune into the channel. We've got lots of content coming up. Keep it locked and loaded on AFTV and on LL Sports TV. Catch you on the next one. We're out.